So here is UPST Upstart. This finishes at $148, and that is up 35.65% today. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. So here is RBLX Roblox. This finishes at $53.87 today. That is down 26.51%. So a really nasty day for Roblox. Major pullback here, and that is because we had earnings yesterday after the market closed, and the negative momentum continued into today. So let's check out the earnings real quick. Okay, so EPS was negative 25 cents, missed the estimate of negative 12 cents, so huge miss there. 105% miss on EPS, and revenue was a lot better. Revenue was $770 million, which missed the estimate of $782 million. That was a 1.5% miss there. So pretty bad earnings there. EPS was really bad, revenue not too bad, but both of them missed, so very disappointing. In addition to that, we do have price adjustments here. So Bank of America says Roblox is a buy right now and has an $84 price target. So Bank of America, really bullish on Roblox. And then Morgan Stanley downgrades to $65, which is still bullish. So yeah, bad earnings, market didn't like it, and it seems like everyone selling off, pulling their money here, especially institutions. So let's go ahead and analyze here. So this did gap down at 66.30. So that's a bullish indicator. That is telling us that the stock will probably come back up to 66.30 at some point to fill that gap. And then this may be a double bottom forming here. No confirmation just yet, but back in January it was one bottom. Now it's another bottom. So that would be a bullish indicator because the stock usually bounces when you see a double bottom. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 57 and 53.30. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 57, 60.50, 62.35, 64.45, 66.30, 68.15, 70.25, 72.10, 73.45, 75.10, 77.20, 79.25, 80.90, 82.30, 84.15, 86.70, 89.45, 90.60, 93.40, 95.25, 97.10, 99.90, and then 102. There is resistance above 102, but we're not going to discuss that right now. The only support to the downside is 53.30, the all-time low. So right now at this current price, 53.87. The channels to the upside are pretty wide, up until 60.50, and then they narrow. So if this continues to run to the upside, expect a significant amount of price action up until 60.50, and then expect it to go back to normal. But then once this breaks 82.30, the channel starts to open up again, so expect a significant increase in price action if this runs above 82.30. RSI is currently at 34, so not quite oversold and undervalued, but quickly approaching that. So this could be a good buying opportunity coming up here. Not financial advice. And this did 95 million in volume today, which is pretty much tied for the biggest volume day ever. So the sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. This one seems to be pretty straightforward to me. Looks like a pretty good buy. Again, we have the bullish indicators in the gap down, double bottom, and also the low RSI. And this is literally at the all-time low. So it really can't get too much worse. So a lot of bullish indicators here, no bearish indicators, and no neutral indicators. So this appears to be a pretty good buy in the short and long terms. Short term, there's a really good chance this comes back up to 66.30 to fill the gap. And longer term, Roblox is a pretty legit company, not going anywhere. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, I would support going long at the current price, 53.87, and lower. And if it does pull back below 53.31, which is the last support there, I really can't say where you should average down, but really shouldn't go too much lower. So if it pulls back, then you can just average down. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. Again, good amount of bullish indicators, a lot of upside potential, no bearish indicators. This is the all-time low, not too much downside potential. So I really don't see why you would go short here. Seems like a bad idea. Should have went short a couple months ago when this was in the hundreds, even at 90, 80, 70 would have been a good short. Here in the $50 range, this is just way too late. You missed your chance. All-time low. Really can't go too much lower. Yeah, it just doesn't really make sense to go short here. Going short would be a high-risk, low-reward play. And you're probably going to lose money. Please don't go short here, guys. Doesn't make any sense. So yeah, this one is straightforward. Looks like a pretty obvious buy, in my opinion. And don't really see a reason why you'd go short here. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today. But like I said, looks like a pretty good buying opportunity. Not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is RBLX Roblox. So here is UPST Upstart. This finishes at $148, and that is up 35.65% today. So a huge day for the stock, a lot of price action, and that is because we had earnings yesterday, followed by some pretty good news and price adjustments. So let's check it out. Okay, so EPS was 89 cents, which beat the estimate of 51 cents. Huge beat there, 75% beat on the EPS. And revenue was $305 million, which beat the estimate of $263 million. So 16% beat there on revenue. So really good earnings. And in addition to that, the company announces a $400 million stock buyback program. So the company buying their own dip here. And then we have a few price adjustments here. JP Morgan lowers to 245, still really bullish. Piper Sandler upgrades to 230. Goldman Sachs downgrades to 250, still really bullish. And Morgan Stanley upgrades to 115, which is bearish. So overall, really good stuff here. Great earnings, stock buyback, and most of the hedge funds think this is worth about $250. So a lot of good stuff going for the stock. That is why it's up over 35% today. Very nice. So let's go ahead and analyze here. So first of all, we have a gap down at 307. So that would be a bullish indicator. That is telling us the stock should eventually come back up to 307 to fill this gap. May take a while, but eventually it should. And then we have a double gap up. We have a gap up way back in March at 62. So that is a bearish indicator. That is telling us the stock may pull back down to 62 to fill this gap. At this point, looks pretty unlikely, but possible. So keep that in mind, guys. And then today, it gapped up again at 110. So that would be another bearish indicator that is telling us the stock may pull back down to 110 to fill this gap. This also looks like a possible cup and handle in the making. Bottom of the cup being around 85. And there are multiple possible tops. Could be 166, 200, 240, 270, 345, 367, or even the high of 400. Although I do think the most realistic top is either 165 or 200. But it doesn't really matter where the top of the cup is. Those are all bullish indicators. That is telling us the stock should eventually come back up to one of those tops to complete the cup. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 151 and 143. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 152, 158, 166, 172, 179, 187, 193, 200, 206, 214, 223, 230, 240, 247, and then 256. There is resistance above 256, but we're not going to discuss that right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 143, 136, 129, 122, 115, 106, 98, 91, and then 83. There is support below 83, but we're not going to discuss that right now. So right now at this current price, 148, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a regular amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 206 to the upside, the channels start to open up and get pretty wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 206. RSI is currently at 65, so not quite overbought and overvalued, but quickly approaching that, so be careful, guys. And this did 34 million in volume today. Biggest volume day of the year, so this pump today was confirmed by the volume. Okay, guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. Based on the chart and based on the news and upgrades, the stock does appear to be pretty bullish right now. Shorter term, this may pull back. Longer term, this does look really, really good. We do have bullish indicators in the gap down, cup and handle, and bearish indicators in the gap ups and high RSI. So yeah, short term, not really sure what's going to happen, but longer term, a lot of upside potential. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice. Personally, I would hold off for right now. You missed a really good opportunity already today. But again, this did gap up at 110, and I think there's a really good chance that this comes back down to 110 to fill this gap. So 148 isn't a bad entry, especially for the longer term. But I do think if you're a bit patient here, maybe a couple of weeks, This should pull back to fill the gap at 110. So I would set the buy orders to 110, and I think that'd be a really excellent entry. I don't really like the entry of 148 right now, but I would support going along at 110 and lower. And if it pulls back below 110, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. And if you do manage to get this at 110, eventually it should come back up to 307 to fill this gap down over here, and that would be around a 200% upside. Even from the current price, 148, that'd be about a 100% upside. A lot of upside potential. It looks like a pretty good buy here. 148, not a bad buy for the long term, but in the short term, I do believe it's going to pull back, and I try to get this at 110. I think that's a really excellent entry. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, again, I do think it's coming back down to 110, possibly even 62 to fill those gaps. I don't think 62 is very likely, but 110, very possible. So it's not exactly the greatest play in the world, especially because the company is buying their own stock back and the hedge funds are in on this now on the long side. But you should be able to make around 30% to the downside if this does come back down to 110. And good chance it does. Personally, I'd probably stay away from it because there is still risk involved. I would say going short here would be a medium risk, medium reward play. Worth a shot, good amount of tendies to be made, but a little too risky for my liking. I don't really want to bet against the company and the hedge funds, but it should come back down to 110. So if you do want to go short here, I could support that. I would say please just cover at 110 once this fills the gap. This is not really one you want to hold on the short side here. Get in, get your tendies, get out. So going short here, pretty decent play, but please do that at your own risk. So in summary, I think short term, this should pull back a little bit. I would say to around 110. And longer term, definitely looks like a really good buy. So congratulations to everyone who made money in the stock today. Consider taking profits if you're up, not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is UPST Upstart. So here is VIAC ViacomCBS. This finishes at $29.58 today. That is down 17.81%. So we haven't talked about the stock in a while here, almost a year. Ever since the whole Bill Wong Archegos thing happened, and ever since then, it's been slowly bleeding. But today, we had some pretty big price action to the downside, and that is because we had earnings and price adjustments. So let's check it out. So EPS was 26 cents, which missed the estimate of 45 cents. Big miss there on EPS, 42% miss. And revenue was $8 billion, which beat the estimate of $7.5 billion. So about a 7% beat on the revenue. So overall, not terrible earnings, but pretty bad. Huge miss on EPS, slight beat on revenue. It says they're renaming ViacomCBS to Paramount Global, and it added 9.4 million streaming subs, which is a record. So that's pretty good, but seems like market didn't care too much. We have a lot of price adjustments here. Benchmark downgrades to $55. MoffettNathanson downgrades to $31. Loop Capital downgrades to $35. Bank of America downgrades to $39. Credit Suisse downgrades to $38. Goldman Sachs downgrades to $54. Guggenheim downgrades to $40. Atlantic Equities downgrades to $30. So pretty bad earnings. Market didn't like it. And a lot of hedge funds pulling their money right now. And that is why stock is down about 18% today. Very nasty. Doesn't really make too much sense to me. Paramount Plus is pretty legit. But, you know, this is officially a meme stock now. So not really trading according to fundamentals anymore. But let's go ahead and analyze here. So we do have a double gap down. The first one way back in March of last year, when the whole Bill Wong Archegos thing happened at 90. So that's a bullish indicator. That is telling us this stock will probably come back up to 90 at some point eventually. And then today we have another gap down at 35. So bullish indicator there. That is telling us the stock should eventually come back up to 35 to fill that gap. And longer term, this is a huge cup and handle right here. You can't even really call it a cup. It's like a tub and handle. And that's a bullish indicator because that is telling us that eventually this should come back up to 100 near the high to complete this cup here, complete this tub. But that's probably going to be a while. And if you guys want to follow along, the link to the chart is in the description down below. So right now this is trading between the sideways channel, the rectangle of 30, 15, and 29. So if this goes to the upside, next levels of resistance would be 30, 15, 31, 55, 32, 85, 34, 20, 35, 10, 36, 05, 37, 85, 39, 45, 40, 90, 42, 40, 44, 40, 46, 10, 48, 30, 52, 15, 56, 25, 59, 05, and then 61, 55. There is resistance above 61, 55, but we're not going to discussed there right now. And if this goes to the downside, next levels of support would be 29, 27.50, 25.95, 24.30, 21.90, 20.20, 18.30, 16.35, 14.05, 13, 11.55, and then the 3-year low of 10.10. So right now at this current price, 29.58, the channels to the upside and the downside are pretty decently sized, so expect a regular amount of price action either way this goes. However, if/when this breaks 36.05 to the upside, the channel starts to get really wide, so expect a significant increase in price action if/when this breaks 36.05. RSI is currently at 36, so not quite oversold and undervalued, but quickly approaching that, so this could be a good buying opportunity coming up here. Not financial advice. And this did 88 million in volume today. Very significant volume, so this sell-off today was confirmed by the volume. Okay guys, just my opinion, not financial advice. I do think the chart looks pretty bullish. I think this is a pretty easy buy right here. We have bullish indicators in the double gap down, tub and handle, and low RSI. No bearish indicators, and no neutral indicators. So the chart does look bullish in the short and long terms. Even the hedge funds think it's worth more than 30 bucks right now. So therefore, if you want to go long, not financial advice, I would support going long at this current price, around $30. And if it pulls back below 30, then you can just average down at the supports that I mentioned before. But I think this is a really excellent entry. It really shouldn't go too much lower, and a lot of upside potential here. In the short term, it should come back up to 35. That's about a 20% upside. And longer term, it should come back up to 90. And that is a 200% upside. Now, if you want to go short, not financial advice, I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. Again, only bullish indicators, no bearish indicators, a lot of upside potential, not too much downside potential. This is the yearly low and a good amount of support below this, so it really shouldn't go too much lower. And this is a meme stock now, so if this does decide to moon or squeeze, you'll be in a lot of trouble. And the hedge funds think it's worth more than the current price. So really don't see a reason why you would go short here. I would say going short here would be a high risk, low reward play. Should have went short long time ago, before Archegos happened, even after Archegos happened. But here at 30 bucks, you're just way too late, and really no reason to go short here. That'd be a pretty bad idea. So I would not do that, and I would not recommend that. Please don't go short here, guys. So I think this one is pretty straightforward. Looks like a pretty good buy, and don't really see a reason why you would go short here. So sorry to everyone who lost money in the stock today, but like I said, could be a good buying opportunity. Not financial advice. And good luck to everyone currently in the stock and to everyone looking to take a position. This is VIAC ViacomCBS. Thanks everyone for watching today. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video, please subscribe, and catch me every weekday after market close on the Smarter Gambling Show. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.